Leo was never the first choice. Not in school, not in sports, not even in his own family. He was the middle child. His older sister Mia was the pride of the house, confident, smart, destined for greatness. His younger brother Tom was the joy of the house, cheerful, expressive, loved by everyone instantly. And Leo? Leo was quiet. The kind of quiet that people overlook. Leo spoke softly, moved slowly, thought deeply. People looked at him and saw nothing special. At school, teachers would ask questions and hands would shoot into the air before Leo had even finished thinking. By the time he found the answer, somebody else had already spoken. Too slow, Leo. He heard it so many times that eventually he stopped defending himself. But while everyone else rushed to be seen, Leo was quietly learning something very important: patience. He noticed things other people missed: patterns, mistakes, weaknesses, and most importantly, he learned how to stay calm while the world rushed in circles. One evening, Leo overheard his parents talking in the kitchen. His father sighed. "We need to be realistic," he said. "Mia will do something great. Tom will find his way. But Leo just needs a stable job where he won't get lost." Then came the sentence Leo never forgot. "He just doesn't have the spark." The room fell silent. Leo stood in the hallway, frozen. The words hit him hard. For a moment, it felt like something inside him collapsed into a deep, heavy silence. Not anger, not tears, just a cold, endless emptiness. It is the moment a child realizes that nobody is coming to save them. Nobody is expecting them to become special, not even their own parents. And Leo? He didn't rebel. He didn't promise himself that he would prove them wrong. He simply accepted it. He believed they were right. He knew he was slow. He knew he lacked that bright, shining spark his siblings had. And so, that emptiness became his home. He settled into the shadows, expecting nothing from the world, and expecting absolutely nothing from himself. He became the boy who was content to be nothing. Let them underestimate me, he thought, because they are right. Years later, when Leo started working, the pattern remained unchanged. In meetings, people talked over him. They ignored his presence. They dumped the tedious, unglamorous tasks onto his desk. "Just give it to Leo," they would say. "He'll do it." And he did. Not because he was weak, but because he refused to waste his energy fighting for the spotlight. While his co-workers spent their days bragging, networking, and chasing immediate praise, Leo stayed in the background, observing, learning. One rainy afternoon, Leo saw an old man drop his groceries in the mud outside a quiet park. Everyone else walked past, staring at their phones. Leo stepped forward, knelt down, and quietly helped the man collect his things. The man thanked him, deeply noting the kindness Leo showed toward him. Before they parted, the old man invited him to dinner at his house. Leo almost said no, but he went because he didn't want to be rude. When Leo arrived at the address, he realized the old man was far from ordinary. The home was simple but elegant. It clearly showed the man was wealthy, but it was the kind of wealth that didn't need to be loud. Over dinner, Leo found the old man to be very warm, caring, and down to earth. The man was also deeply impressed with the sincerity and politeness of Leo. They got along so well that the man invited him for dinner again and again, and Leo kept coming back. Over the next few weeks, these regular dinners became something both Leo and the old man looked forward to. For the first time in his life, Leo felt truly connected. Someone finally got him. They talked about life, books, and the world. To the old man, Leo was the only person who truly listened. To Leo, the old man became his only true friend. One evening, as they sat in the study, Leo finally asked the question that had been sitting in his mind. "How did you become successful?" The old man smiled softly. Then he pointed to an old black and white school photograph sitting on a shelf. In the picture, a young boy stood at the very back of a crowded classroom. Small, quiet, forgettable. "That was me," the old man said softly. "I was the boy nobody noticed. Shy, quiet, and slow. I was not good at making friends. Nobody expected anything from me either." He explained how, while the more popular kids chased quick attention and instant success, he spent decades quietly saving, learning, and building, slowly, consistently, without needing anyone's approval. "People ignore you when you build in silence," the old man said. "They think you are failing because you aren't making noise. Then one day, after you succeed, they suddenly pay attention and want to follow you." The room fell completely silent. Leo stared at the photograph, then looked back at the old man. Leo was surprised. To be that successful, Leo thought the old man would have been quick, sharp, and popular among people. But as he looked at him, he realized he wasn't looking at a superior, flawless businessman. The old man wasn't successful despite being slow and quiet. He was successful because he was slow and quiet. In that exact second, Leo realized that he wasn't broken. He wasn't a mistake. He was just a different kind of seed, one that takes years to break through the dirt, but grows into the tallest tree in the forest. He saw living proof that quiet and slow people like him could become highly successful too. By looking at the old man, he started to believe in what he himself could become in 50 years. Remembering the old man's advice, Leo decided to take the first step to start building his empire. Every month, before he paid a single bill, a fixed percentage of his salary was transferred into gold and high-quality dividend stocks. He made investing automatic so that he didn't even need to think about it. Eventually, he used his accumulated dividends to buy his first property. It wasn't a luxury property. It was a plain, cash-flowing asset in a working-class neighborhood. Then he bought a second. Then a third. Meanwhile, his co-workers laughed at his outdated phone. They made jokes about his 10-year-old car. They made fun of his no-label clothes. They thought Leo lacked ambition. They thought he was cheap. They thought he was financially struggling. In reality, Leo was purchasing his freedom brick by brick. While the world looked at him and saw a low-level employee stuck in a dead-end job, his assets were quietly compounding. Years passed. Mia looked spectacular on the outside, but she was quietly drowning in credit card debt to maintain her high society image. Tom had jumped from one brilliant business idea to another, endlessly chasing quick success, leaving him with nothing but half-finished projects and an empty bank account. And Leo? On the outside, Leo still wore the same plain jackets, still spoke gently, but beneath the surface, he had built an invisible empire while no one was paying attention to him. The turning point arrived without any warning. A sudden financial crisis hit the family, and the old debts his parents had carried for years finally caught up to them. They were only a few weeks away from losing the family home. Mia couldn't help. Her high salary was completely trapped in car leases and credit card debt. Tom had plenty of ideas, but no real help to back them up. His father sat at the table with his head in his hands, completely defeated by the weight of the world. Leo quietly walked over to the table and sat down next to his father. He simply slid a piece of paper across the table. "The debt is already taken care of," Leo said softly. His father looked up, confused, staring at the bank confirmation document. "What do you mean, Leo? How?" Leo looked at his father kindly, just like he always did. "I bought the house from the bank last week," Leo explained. "The title is clear. You don't have to move, and you don't have to worry about the rent anymore." The room went completely still. His mother's eyes filled with tears of pure relief. His father just sat there, shaken by the reality of what his quietest son had just accomplished. "But how?" his father whispered. We thought you were struggling financially yourself." Leo smiled a small, gentle smile. "Years ago, you told me I was slow," Leo said, "so I decided to take my time. You told me I just needed a stable life, so I built a life that could never be shaken." The lesson of Leo's life is simple yet powerful. Never mistake silence for weakness. Never mistake slowness for failure. The most life-changing transformations do not happen on social media or under a spotlight. They happen in the shadows, away from the applause, through small actions repeated day after day. Right now, you might feel completely invisible. You might feel like you are falling behind while everyone else races ahead in shiny cars. But remember Leo. The tree with the deepest roots is the one that survives the longest winters. Keep your head down, keep your focus sharp, and build your life in the quiet, even when nobody claps for you yet. Thank you for watching English Stories That Change Lives. Are you quietly building your foundation right now, or are you still chasing the noise? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And please remember to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I will see you in the next story.